I need you to stop thinking about yourself as made of particles. Right now, because you're not, you think you're made of atoms. Tiny billiard balls bouncing around, held together by forces. Electrons orbiting nuclei. Quarks inside protons. Little solid things all the way down. But there are no particles. There never were. That's not how reality works. You are not made of things, you are made of fields. Quantum fields that fill all of space. Vibrating in patterns so complex and so stable that they look like objects. You are not a collection of particles. You are a temporary knot of excitation in the universal field structure. You are not made of things. You are made of music. My name is Roger Penrose. I've spent my life working on the deepest structures of physics and mathematics, and I'm going to tell you something that will change how you see reality forever. The particle picture, the one you learnt in school, the one in every textbook, the one that seems so obvious and intuitive, is wrong. Not approximately wrong. Fundamentally wrong. Let me show you why. Now let me bring this back to you, to your body, to the question of what you are. You think you're made of atoms, about 7, 10, Quadrant 8 atoms, in a human body, each atom supposedly made of electrons and a nucleus, each nucleus made of protons and neutrons, each proton and neutron made of quarks. But none of these are things, they're all field excitations. Your body is not a collection of objects, it's a fantastically complex pattern of excitations in multiple quantum fields. The electrons in your atoms, ripples in the electron field, the quarks in your nuclei, ripples in the up quark field and down quark field, the photons mediating electromagnetic forces between your atoms, ripples in the photon field. You are not made of stuff. You are a pattern, a configuration, a localized, stable, self-sustaining knot in the field structure of the universe. And here's the strangest part. The fields that make up your body are the same fields that make up everything else. The electron field that has an excitation in your brain right now is the same electron field that has excitations in the screen you're looking at, in the star Betelgeuse, in a hydrogen atom in the Andromeda galaxy. There's one electron field pervading all of space. Your electrons and my electrons are not separate things. They're different excitations of the same universal field. At the deepest level, you and I are not separate. We're patterns in the same underlying reality. The ancient mystics said all is one. They were mocked by reductionist scientists who believed in separate individual particles. But quantum field theory vindicates the mystics. There is only one reality, the quantum fields, and everything is a pattern within that unity. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe locally organized into a pattern complex enough to be self-aware. So what are you, really? Let me put it precisely. You are a localized, stable, self-sustaining configuration of quantum field excitations, borrowing energy from chemical bonds in ATP molecules, using that energy to maintain highly ordered information structures in neuronal networks, with those information structures being precisely the patterns that, when they reach certain thresholds of complexity and integration, give rise to conscious experience. You are not things held together. You are a process, a pattern persisting in time because it has enough structure to resist dispersal, enough stability to maintain continuity, enough complexity to be self-aware. And when you die, when that pattern disperses, when the field excitations that constitute your body dissolve back into the quantum vacuum, where do you go? Nowhere. Because you were never separate to begin with. The fields remain. The universe remains. The local pattern that was you dissolves. But the fields that made that pattern are eternal, unchanging, fundamental. You don't end, you disperse. You return to the ocean of fields from which you temporarily emerged. The ancient Buddhists had a word for this. Anatta, non-self, the recognition that there is no separate permanent self, only temporary patterns in an eternal process. Quantum field theory proves anatta. You are not a thing, you have no unchanging essence. You are a process, a pattern, a temporary configuration that will dissolve. But the fields are permanent. The quantum field structure of the universe is, as far as we know, eternal. It existed before the Big Bang, if my cyclic cosmology is correct. It will exist after the heat death of this aeon. You are not separate from that eternity. You are a brief, localized expression of it. A way the eternal fields organize themselves into complexity and awareness. And that, I think, is more profound than any particle picture could ever be. You are not a collection of things. You are a song the universe is singing. A temporary melody in an eternal composition. And when the melody ends, the music doesn't stop. It simply moves on to the next note, the next pattern, the next moment of the eternal symphony. There are no particles. There is only the field. There is only the process. There is only the pattern. And you are one beautiful, temporary, infinitely precious pattern in the infinite creativity of the quantum fields, not made of things, made of music, made of mathematics, made of the same fundamental reality as stars, stones, and distant galaxies. You are not separate. You never were. You are the universe experiencing itself for a brief moment before dissolving back into the eternal field structure from which all patterns emerge and to which all patterns return. There are no particles, only fields, only patterns, only process, and you are that process, aware of itself for one precious fleeting moment.